So today we're doing 9.7 and we're going to be talking about how to classify and translate conic sections. Some of this is a review. We've already talked about this, but this is just a reminder. A parabola has one squared term, x squared. We talked about this last week before STAR testing. Hopefully you got all those correct. A circle has two square terms that are added, and an ellipse also has two square terms that are added. Again, look at that a circle has the same coefficient for your x squared and y squared terms, where an ellipse has two different coefficients. So what is the difference between a circle and an ellipse? They have different coefficients. A hyperbola has two square terms that are subtracted. Okay, so state whether the following is a parabola, a circle, an ellipse, or a hyperbola. So when you look at these on example 1, what do you notice? Hopefully you said that there is only one squared term. So this is a parabola, and it's because it has one squared term. Okay, example 2. The first thing you want to do, though, is make sure that your squared terms are on the same side. So I'm going to subtract my x squared, and we can also move that 18 over. So I really have 9y squared minus 25x squared equals 216 minus 18 would be 198. So what do you think this one is? Good, it is. It is a hyperbola. And it is a hyperbola because there is subtracting with your squared terms. Okay, example 3. Okay, everything's on the correct side. You have two squared terms. They're being added, but the coefficients in front are different. So therefore, it is what? Good, it's an ellipse. And again, we know this because it has different coefficients. Okay, so hopefully you guys are good with that. We're going to move on to example 4 that is dealing with translating. Describe the translation of the graph of y equals negative 5x squared to the graph y equals negative 5x plus 4 squared. Did it move down 4, up 4, right 4, or left 4? Okay, so this is our original one. Okay, what is your vertex here on this original equation? Okay, since nothing is with the x squared, like being added or subtracted, the x value of our vertex is 0, and nothing's being added at the end, so the y value is 0. So our starting point is at 0, 0. Our new vertex here, the x value, remember whatever's in parentheses comes out and it's the opposite, so that's going to be negative 4, and nothing is being added at the end, so it's negative 4, 0. So when I plot this point, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. So we started here and ended here. So if you start here, in order to get here, you are going to go left 4. And that is your answer. Okay, example 5. Okay, it says, given x squared plus py squared minus 6x plus 10y minus 2 equals 9, determine the shape of the following. So with p, this is the value. P is the value in front of the y squared. Okay, so they're saying if p equals 1. So you'd have x squared plus y squared and the rest of all that information. Okay, they're both squared terms, so this has to be a circle or an ellipse. This one is going to be a circle or an ellipse. Which one? Okay, it's going to be a circle, and the reason why is because it has the same coefficients. Okay, if p equals 5. So on this one, we would have x squared plus 5y squared. So again, those are two squared terms. Both of them are positive, but the coefficients, this one is a 1 and this one is a 5. Therefore, it is an ellipse because it has different coefficients. Okay, p equals negative 5. So that means you would have x squared minus 5y squared. Okay, so that one, it has a subtraction in between your squared terms, which means it is a hyperbola. Because of the subtracting. Okay. Example 6. Given x squared plus y squared equals 9. And just for the fun of it, what type of graph is this? Good, it's a circle. We know it's a circle because the coefficients in front of the x and y term are the same. Okay, if the graph is shifted down 2 units, write the equation of the new graph. So right now, where is my center of my circle? So with the x, there's nothing with it, so it is a 0. And the y, there's nothing with it, so it is a 0. So my original is at 0, 0. Now it is shifting down 2 units. So my new center is at, maybe you should put new center, is now at 0, negative 2. So when you write your equation, we're using all the same information except for we have to exchange different values with our x and our y. So the x squared, since it's 0, is going to stay x squared plus, and with the y, it's going to be y what? Y plus 2, because it's always the opposite. So y plus 2 squared equals 9. We keep that same value. So this is our new equation. Okay, moving on. Example 7. This one, hopefully you notice, is going to be what type of shape? Good, it's an ellipse. And we know it's an ellipse because why? Good, the coefficients in front are different. Okay, so first of all, normally an ellipse, you would divide by 15 to everything because you want it to be equal to 1. But we're just going to leave it in this form because really all we're looking at is the values with our x's and our y's with the squared term. So on this one, the value with my x squared is 0. Okay, so my my center on here is 0, and my center with my y here is also 0. Okay, so let's do this in black. Okay, so my original center is at 0, 0. Then it says that if the equation is shifted up 3, so from here up 1, 2, 3, and right 2, 1, 2. That is now my new center. Okay, so my new center is at 2 up 3, 2, 3. So when you write our equation, it's the same as it is here. So you're going to keep the 5 in front, but with the x, I'm going to put x minus 2 squared because it's always the opposite of what's in parentheses. Plus, I still have 3 in front here, and at this one it's going to be y minus 3 squared because we do the opposite, equals 15. And that's your new equation. Okay, last one. It says given. First of all, what type of shape is this one? Good, it's a hyperbola, and we know that is because there's the subtraction in between the square terms. Okay, so again on this one, pay attention though with your x and y because the y comes first in this equation. So my center on this one is 0, 0 because there's nothing with the x on top, nothing with the y. Okay, so we start at 0, 0. Then it tells me the equation is shifted 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, and 2 left, 1, 2 left. Okay, so my new center is at negative 2 up 3. Okay, so we're going to write our equation. We keep everything the same except for this time my y on top. And my y value, going to go to the center y value, is positive 3, which means inside it would be minus 3 squared, and you keep it over 4, minus, with the x is negative 2, so that means we're going to have x plus 2 squared, and that is over 9, equals 1. and that is your new equation. And we are done.